on and talk about the upcoming new moon that we're about to have. This is going to be on the 16th of May, and it will be in the sign of Taurus. So, actually, this is one of the best full moons. I'm sorry, not full moons, new moons of the year. Why? Because the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, which means that the moon likes to be in the sign of Taurus. The energy of the moon is best expressed through the energy of Taurus. Now, Taurus is a earth sign. It is a fixed earth sign, and it rules the second house in the zodiac. Recently, I talked to you guys about the different houses and your wealth. So for those of you who I was speaking to in that previous video that I did about your wealth houses, this new moon, y'all, if you're trying to really tap into a strong wealth energy, this is, in my opinion, the best new moon for that, the best moon phase, because the new moon is about attracting and drawing in new things or renewing something in general. Okay, so either bringing something new or renewing something that has already manifested. Okay, now being that it's the sign of Taurus, Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. Remember, I told you Jupiter is for millionaires, Venus is for billionaires, or at least that is the adage, that is a saying in astrology. So with understanding how the planets work, and the houses work, the second house governs our assets. Each house, each zodiac sign has an affirmation or saying, and Taurus's is I own. So the second house is about your assets and things that you own, things that you value, things that have value to you. So self-value, self-worth, the things that you value, like your value system, okay, on a figurative level, and also on an actual level, like your house, your car, jewelry, wealth, things that are assets, things that you own that have value to you. Okay, so this is going to be a new moon where you can draw in new things of value. Do you want a new house? Do you want a new car? Do you want a new job? Do you want, a new ring? New things that are dealing again with assets, prosperity, and wealth, and self-value and worth. This is going to be the new moon that's going to be best suited to manifest that end result. Okay, so you guys want to tap into this new moon. Now, this new moon will also be sectal Jupiter, okay, which means that Jupiter is going to be in a favorable supporting aspect to this new moon. So Jupiter is going to be helping, giving it opportunity to expand, to grow, enhancing it. Anything that Jupiter touches, it enhances, it grows, it makes it bigger. Okay, so tapping into this new moon, one of the things that you can do, obviously when we're talking about the moon, you may want to start out with a bath. Okay, do a Venus bath. Okay, Venus bath would be adding in things like rose and jasmine is another Venus plant, and there's many, many, many more. Like goldenrod is another Venus plant that you can add. Put in some catnip, adding you some orris root. Do you a nice spiritual bath. After your bath, then you want to go into ritual mode, which the spiritual bath is a part of your ritual, but that's just setting layers of intentions. The one thing about your spiritual work, when you layer it, it's more effective. So doing the bath, then going after you do your bath, and you may want to do some scripting. After you do your scripting, you may want to do some candle work. Okay, what I'm telling you to do is to tap into the 4 different elements in your ritual work. So the candle work would be the fire, the bath would be the water, scripting, that would be the element of air. Okay, and then the element of earth, you could do something like burying your spell afterwards, or burying a petition. Working with the element of earth, you could also work with crystals, adding crystals to your ritual work, putting on a crystal that will help you to manifest those things. A good crystal to work with this new moon would be emerald. Okay. Emerald is connected to Venus, and Venus color is green. Some people like to use pink for Venus as well. You could use rose quartz. You could use aventurine. Okay, it's just some examples of some crystals that you can add in. Another element of earth, you could add in things like bank dirt. Okay, don't forget to work with dirt, working with the actual earth. Okay, and wherever you take dirt from, it brings in the energy of that place. So if you're trying to attract wealth, prosperity, you can go to a bank, or you could also like go to a business that is thriving. So maybe you go to like a Walmart, or I don't know, a mall, where there's a lot of traffic, a lot of business, those types of things, going and getting dirt from that area. Now, if you go to the bank, be discreet. Okay, you don't want to get caught. Nobody call the police on you, think you out here doing something wrong. If you can, if there's a tree on the property of the bank, get dirt from the tree. Okay, because that's even going to be better, because trees are stable, they grow, they're there for hundreds of years sometimes. Okay, so it represents stability. And I'm gonna just say this too, out of all the wealth energies to work with, Taurus is one of the best, because it's going to be consistent. Now, Taurus is not fast moving energy, so understand that. If you ever know a Taurus, they don't move fast. They move at their own pace. They probably going to be late, okay, to whatever it is. But it's stable. It's consistent, okay? It's a sturdy foundation to build on. So the wealth that you'll be calling in with this new moon is going to be stable. It's going to be abundant. It's going to be consistent, okay? You can also work on your sense of self-worth and self-value if there's issues in that area, okay? And how you view yourself, how you view your worth, how you view worth in general, okay? Don't forget, powerful energy with this particular upcoming new moon. Now, we're going to be getting ready to go into a Mercury retrograde soon. Y'all want to prepare for that, okay? Because we're going to be getting that June 30th. And just to correct myself, because I know I got fact checkers out here, people that like to fact check me. So let me just clarify for the record that when I made the statement in my previous video about when I started my business, yes, I did legally start my business Enchanted Deep 12 years ago. But the first form of business ownership that I had was sole proprietorship. So October 8th, 2014, I went down to our core, let me see, what is it called? What do they call that? Is it, what is the name of this municipal building now? The Coleman A. Young Municipal Building. And I registered my business, and I got my DBA papers, my doing business as. So that was my first form of business ownership. Then January 11th was the day that I requested it, but the paperwork didn't get done until the 16th, when it was actually completed. Of 2019 is when I did my LLC paperwork. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear, because some of you I do have a legal business. You can look at Enchanted Deepest. It is registered on Lara, which is our site where you can do business lookup. Okay, so for those of you who check it out and be like, she said it wrong. No, let me clarify for y'all. Okay, so what I did was I started, had a sole proprietorship, and then I realized that LLC would be a better form of business ownership for me, better form of business structure. So then I did my LLC paperwork, incorporated in 2019, just for the record, okay? Because I know, like I said, some of y'all fact checkers, and that's cool, because you really should fact check information. Let me just say this too, message. Too many people just believe people because they sound believable or they look believable. One of the things that I try to do is to come through and be authentic in my appearance and how I appear to you all. I don't want to create an image that is not based on reality. Some of these people that are on social media, that are in the occult community, they show you what they want you to see. They show you a created image of reality for them that is not based on reality. It's based on what they want you to see. And they put in a lot of time and energy with the aesthetics of how they look, how, their marketing is, because they're really wanting you to believe in them based on their appearance and not based on fact. Okay. So we have to be more discerning. We have to do our due diligence, and not just in our spiritual community with spiritual leaders and practitioners, but in all areas of our lives. Okay. Fact check, do the research, make sure it matches up. Okay. It's really important, especially in spiritual things. Spiritual discernment is important. You can get out here on a tangent down a rabbit hole you weren't supposed to go down because you did not have spiritual discernment. You didn't fact check. You didn't do your due diligence. Okay. So it's really important to do that on this spiritual path, or you'll get lost. Okay. Or misled, and purposely misled or lost. Okay. So that's why I come on here and try to keep it real with you, because I don't want to create a false image that you buy into and trust. I want you to trust what I say because you have checked what I said and it adds up. All right, y'all. For those of you who need help doing your new moon ritual, you can reach out to me. I'm going to be doing a community service ritual. Whenever I do these community rituals for $99 up to $150, understand that's a one-day ritual. Sometimes for my loyal clients that have been with me for years and come back to me often, they may pay for a community ritual that's supposed to be one day, and I'll give them a full ritual. That's to my discretion, though. Okay, you'll get a big candle, and it'll go for the full ritual amount. And I do that because they're loyal to me. Okay, but generally speaking, when you purchase those rituals, $99 up to $150, it's a one-day ritual. So it may not have the full effect of what you need. Now, for those of you who are on a budget and just trying to move some energy and get things going, or you want to sample, my services and see how my energy work manifest for you, those type of rituals are good. But if you have a very serious situation, understand that may not be enough. You may need to purchase a full ritual. All right. Also, on tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a ritual with Oya. Okay. Come on, y'all. Oya been coming through. Especially here in Michigan, there's been so many storms, and I felt her energy very, very strongly that past full moon that we had in Scorpio. Oya energy came through that portal. I felt Oya, and I felt Lilith energy very strongly coming through that portal. So I'm going to be doing an Oya ritual on tomorrow. Now, for those of you who don't know who Oya is, she is the Orisha. She is the Orisha that actually helps the ancestors make the transition. She's over the marketplace, and she's at the entrance of the cemetery. Okay, the cemetery is not her home. It is the entrance of the cemetery. Around the gate, that is her home. So Oya is a very powerful deity. She manifests as wind and as storms. She's good for protection. She's good for breaking you free from things that have been blocking you, from removing obstacles, for helping you to transform, because she is the goddess of transformation. Okay. She's good also if you have a business. Okay, because she is the queen of the marketplace, which means the queen of business. So she's very good to help you if you have a business and you want to improve it, you want to bring in more clients, you want to be more successful in that business. Very powerful deity. Also helping you with ancestor communication and spirit communication. So I feel like a lot of people, and myself included, we're still shaking off a lot of things from 2025. We're still shaking off a lot of negative energy and a lot of blockages. So before we can really plant seeds and grow the things that we want, so that we can manifest them and harvest them in the fall, during the spring, we still need to be breaking ground. We still need to be clearing the way. We still need to be removing obstacles. A lot of you, the reason that the work that you're doing, the money work, the love work, the prosperity work, the success work that you're doing isn't manifesting the way that you want, is because you need to clear, you need to remove, you need to unblock. And Oya is excellent for that. All right. So if you would like to be a part of that ritual, and again, that's a one-day ritual. These rituals that I do together for community service, again, I'm going to say it again because sometimes people don't listen. For $99 to around $150, that is a one-day ritual. Packs a punch, but you may need a little bit more, but it's definitely a good place to start if you don't have the money for a full ritual, or you want to, again, try out my services. Good place to start. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Mars Day, and peace.